I am very pleased to welcome up someone who we all know is very important in our community. He is kind of the soul. He captures all of our happiest moments, I guess.
He's the MVP, or the most valuable photographer, Stephen Gu, for his senior speech.
Thank you, thank you. For those of you who asked me today, the Kales are doing fine, as you can tell, okay? Don't ask me anymore, they are doing fine, okay? How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Says Winnie the Pooh. Yes, that goat bear who loves honey but never worry about cavity or diabetes. It was Clee's senior quote, but to me, it's a lot more than that. How lucky I am to stand here in front of all of you giving my senior speech. As I rush out of my home at 3 a.m. carrying nothing but what I could gather in 5 minutes, I never thought of this day. How hard it was learning friends, teachers, and countless people lost their homes. And finding out places I have known have burned down. Tears filled my eyes. It was hard. These places are part of my childhood too. I too felt the goodbye was too brutal, too quick, and too hard. But thanks to the brave firefighters, the fire got under some control and my house survived, and I know we will and we can rebuild. Waking up the next morning, I went outside to clear my head, but I couldn't. It's so hard. So hard to not know if everything you ever owned and valued are gone. It's not just the photos or the papers on the wall that makes this so hard. It's a memory as well. It's a memory of SA of Santa Rosa and memory I had with all of you. I thought of my 6, perhaps 7 attempts to ask someone out for my freshman year homecoming. Should I name all the people I asked? No, that would be a violation of student handbook, page 15. It was at the same homecoming that the smoke machine set off the fire alarm. I remember standing on the hill watching the fire truck roaming through the city. I wouldn't forget the confusing faces of the firefighters as they walked into the flashes of hundreds of cell phones. They probably thought they were at Oscars, only there weren't any reporters, but hundreds of screaming kids. Of course, Florence's flustered face as she ran up to explain that there's actually no fire, but a very hot dance. I thought of the comments Amber wrote on my report card my freshman year. She said, by his junior year, he may have the maturity to handle AP Calculus BC, but I don't think he's there yet. And on my sophomore year report card, she said, I know AP Calculus BC is of interest to you. I am, however, sticking to my AP Calculus AB recommendation for now. And sorry, Darren, I ended up taking AP Calculus BC. I remember one day in class, tears was falling down my face from eating an Indian curry that was way too hot. And how confused Amber was, because on the other side of the classroom, Kiva just ate a ghost pepper. And he was crying too. I just wanted to say, what a man. I thought of the 30-ish tardies I got from Nathaniel's class. I also thought about Doug. I thought about all the slideshows I made, Lily and her squad, a bite of International Volleyball Club, my camera, my internship, my great parking, and of course, the Cards Against Humanity I played at one particular AP Humanity class that I'm not allowed to mention. Because when asked for permission last night, the teacher responded saying, quote, "Heck no." How lucky I am to have these memories. However, one memory in particular stood out. One memory that I felt has changed the course of my life. It was the summer of my freshman year. Days were long and I was young. I was in Silila, a little town in the middle of Tanzania, participating in a summer abroad program with Global Routes. As the sun sets behind Mount Mabulubulu, tired but satisfied farmers emerge from the forest, walking in family groups, moms cradling babies in slings, children running around with shovels. Children running around with barefoot. That was a father. Older siblings balancing pots of waters on their heads, and fathers carrying racks, shovels, and axes on their shoulder. The earth's cooling down. The land turning red as it reflects the sunset. The smells of fried onion, cooked ugali, and freshly cut hay all melt together. It's one of the most beautiful and harmonious moments of the day. Mama Minna and I would sit on the crumbling stone hay trowel, staring into the nearby thatched roof mud hut, chopping vegetables and sifting rice through the rattan sieve while catching the last ray of sun. As the dinner unfolds, Mama Minna and I sit back and wait. Although words are few, her eyes communicate a lot. Sometimes we talk, sometimes we play tic-tac-toe, sometimes we just ask each other questions, practice English, and sometimes we just sit there. Sit there silently, listening to the stool scraping the uneven concrete floor. Everything feels in place, in order, in its most natural state. I feel calm, safe, and a sense of belonging. Quite frankly, a few weeks ago in Health and Wellness, Carolyn asked, what was friendship? Someone in my TA group said, friendship is when two people can sit side by side silently and still don't feel awkward. Every evening, sitting side by side with Mama Minna, watching the charcoal burning has become a routine. It was comforting. I felt safe and welcome, loved in this dark, smoky kitchen. Moments like these are rare in my life. Growing up, my childhood is shattered. My parents divorced when I was little, and I spent the past 10 years moving from house to house, city to city, school to school, country to country. Home, community, and family has been a wake word for me. There were many heart-touching moments throughout our times together in Silila. One afternoon was particularly special. We were interviewing Mama Minna. It was a chance for us to learn more about her life stories with our instructors as translator. In the beginning, Mama Minna was shy. Slowly, she starts to share her story. Growing up, she was a bright student, having a good chance to go to college in a country where less than 1% of the elementary school students make into the higher education system. She was going to be independent. She was going to have a chance to live a good life through all her hard work. However, her family disagrees. They don't think it's worth it to send her to college. Instead, they ask her to marry someone, which she did, to Baba Minna, at the price of 1 million Tanzania shilling, or $445.64, and one single goat. They then moved to Silila with literally nothing and has been here since 1996. After hearing her unfortunate past, I asked her, what makes you happy? I thought she would say break, a better house, or perhaps some extra cash. But she said children. She said seeing her children happy makes her happy. Then I asked her, what do you dream of? She said she hopes her children to grow up educated and happy. And perhaps one day she can own a little corner store in Silila. Not a single word of complaint, not a single whisper of how difficult her life is, but rather a world full of love, family, and community. Her words remind me that even at the most difficult time, community, family, and love is something we share in common. You don't have to be rich or educated to share love, to give, to be a part of community, or to contribute. All I really need is a determined heart to be a part of it. And the joy on her face reminded me how happy it can be to be a part of a community, to share, to give, and to love. Even though Mama Minna and I haven't seen each other for years, even though the images of Silila, the smoky kitchen, Mountain Mabulu Bulu, or mothers with jugs of waters on their heads starts to lose its color, the spirit of Mama Minna is with me. With that spirit, I think I found my community here at Santa Rosa, at Sonoma Academy. I think I found it as I see This Is My essay being played at Big Night Out. When I hugged Kelly Needleman after a well-fought tennis match in the playoff. I see it on people's happy faces as they open their yearbooks. And as the entire senior class and faculty and their parents rises up after watching my senior farewell slideshow. And as I cruise down the Kenyan freeway, seeing the Mount Kilimanjaro fades away in sunset. And as the sun rises through the baobab trees in Madagascar. And I see it now. I see it in the shelters, on the banners across the freeways, in the countless stores that open their stores to give out free food, and at the friend's house who open their doors to host me. I see it in the emails titled Open Doors that filled up my inbox. I see it in the huge Excel chart of open homes and shelters that's so much bigger and longer than the chart of broken houses. I wouldn't forget any of them, because each and every time it warms my heart. The smiles and joys makes me happier than when Winnie the Pooh finds the honey. It made me feel that I belong here, that this is my community. It's moments like these I think make saying goodbye so hard. But I'm glad it's so hard. I hope we can continue this love and caring for our community. And please don't forget how good it felt and how much brighter, warmer, and stronger it compared to the burning wildfire. Please carry on so that all of us can have a chance to say how lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Thank you.